Hello, hello, and bright blessings, beautiful, beautiful souls. Hello, and welcome to this video. So I received the question, what do I do when I get triggered, right? What do I personally do? Because, there's so many people out there saying, do this, do that, do the other, and it's all really, really sound advice. And it's, it tends to all fall on the same level of, kind of ground and meditate and, don't necessarily react in the moment. And when I got asked that question, it got me thinking a little bit, what do I do? How is it different now to what it used to be, And I think what's really, really interesting is that the more that you kind of spend time outside, the more you kind of spend time being aware, practicing awareness, or some people call this mindfulness, and this can look like, doing walking meditations or just kind of noticing what you can see, hear, smell, taste, touch. The more you spend time being present in the now moment, the more that you're actually able to kind of witness yourself, right? When you're having a very emotionally based, triggered response to something, when you're having a very human response, right? Because we are all human and we can't really negate that, we can't ignore that, So although we are these divine beings, we are also human beings, right? We have our emotional indicators that let us know when there is a mindset that is off, and that might be triggered by one of the beautiful mirrors of the people that surround us, right? Or events that surround us. So what do I do? If I get triggered, and that does happen, I just want to say as well, that does happen. No one is exempt or immune from being triggered, right? That does happen. When I get triggered, first I notice it, right? And that might sound quite silly, but it's kind of like, when I get triggered, the energy that is within me is not feeling aligned. It is feeling like it's starting to maybe bubble up a little bit, right? I might feel it in my solar plexus, in my heart, in my joints. The other day I got a little bit triggered by seeing someone, and although it didn't necessarily emotionally trigger me, my body reacted, and I felt it in my joints, right? My whole body felt like it was going weak. And that's a triggering, right? But most people tend to talk about triggering as though it's an emotional response, and we want to get angry or we want to get defensive, and we might not want to, we just kind of naturally do that. Now, the first thing is to notice it and just go, oh, whew, okay, I'm feeling everything, I'm feeling a lot, I'm feeling it all right now, there's something bubbling up within me, it doesn't feel great, but, before it kind of takes the reins and starts going a little bit crazy with you, what I do is I start to, I breathe, right, and that might sound really, really silly, but I kind of take myself away from whatever the triggering thing is, and I just breathe, and I really, really, really focus on where I'm walking. I really, really, really focus on what I'm hearing. I really, really focus on literally the ground. And I call in immediately, as soon as I notice that I'm being triggered, I call in my guardian angel to make their presence feel known. I call in my higher self first to assist and help with whatever is going on. I call in my guardian angel. I call in my team of light, all of them, right? And we all have this team of light. And when I say a team of light, people might just think it's, it might only be your guardian angel. No, we literally have like 200-300 beautiful non-physical beings that are kind of committed to helping us on this earth plane, because it's a very brave, courageous role to play as a human being on this planet at this time, right? And we chose to do that. So I call in my team of light to just help calm. I call in Archangel Gabriel and bring down Archangel Gabriel and Archangel Zadkiel's violet flame of transmutation, right? So I bring down the gold and silver violet flame, or the rainbow fire, and what that does is that helps transmute and helps me discern what is mine and what is a trigger. It helps me discern whether I'm acting from my heart or responding from my heart, or whether I am responding from maybe a hidden wound, and all this happens in the space of a couple of seconds after I've noticed. So energy starts to bubble up, I start to feel emotional, I start to feel upset or angry, or something goes on within me, and then I go, oh, okay, I call in my team of light, I call in everyone, I bring down the violet flame, and I can do this very, very quickly now. It used to take me a lot longer to do that, so, however long it takes you to do that is however long, and that's okay. And then I start to breathe deeply, right, because the body will go into a natural response of wanting to breathe shallow. And when we do that, we're not getting the oxygen that we need, right? We're not being able to center ourselves. So I purposefully focus on breathing very, very deeply, however long I need to do that for. That's the most instant thing that I can do in every single situation, because not all situations you can just kind of stop and go, I'm just gonna take a bath, or I'm just gonna have a nap, or I'm just gonna drink a big glass of water. You know, you don't always have that luxury, but what we can always do is we can always stop and breathe. So that's the first thing that I do. The next thing that I do is I distract myself with something of a higher frequency. Okay, so if I'm out and about somewhere, I may do something really kind of like not deemed kind of adult. Like I might start skipping, right? And I'm sure people might look at me in the street and go, what on earth is she doing? But if they do, I've never noticed it. But sometimes I'll do something like that to kind of distract myself and make me laugh at myself, at the silliness of, you know, of how silly life can be, right? Or I start singing something, or I put some music on. And you know, we don't have to process what's going on right now. We just have to kind of notice that, you know, the emotions are our indicator, that there is a mindset, that there is a belief that is not in alignment with our higher self, right? That's what really a trigger is. There is some type of wound, and what a wound is somewhere where there is a lack of unconditional love and compassion for self, a lack of alignment with your higher self. So they're the first two things that I do. What do I do next? I make sure that I hydrate, right? I get a large glass of water, and I make sure it's water. I don't have juice or fizzy pop or, you know, or a supplement. I don't do that yet. I first start with water, and before I even drink that water, I am blessing that water. I am asking my higher self to imbue the water with Christ-like energy, with compassion and love and healing. And as I drink that water, it is then going to be healing me as I drink it. So that's the next thing that I do. And you see here, we're kind of invoking all the elements, right? So already I've worked with the element of air, right? I've already worked with the element of fire. I've then worked with the element of water and with the element of earth, because if I'm out somewhere, or even if I'm not, I make sure to go out somewhere, right? So that I can then connect with nature, you know, whether it's through my hands or through my feet. I take my shoes and socks off. But when I'm in a place where and if it's a really strong trigger, you might not be able to drive right away, you know? Because that has happened as well. If it's something really deeply embedded, you might not be able to drive right away. So I just go outside and I find a tree and I ask the tree if it can help me. And I know that sounds really silly, but you know, trees are so grounded, their roots go so deep into the earth that, you know, whenever we are triggered and that emotion, the emotional indicators are kind of sparking off, is probably a good way to phrase that. We've got too many electrical impulses bouncing around within us, so we kind of need to earth ourselves like electricity does. It needs earthing. So you see here, I've already connected with all four elements. That's how I personally respond to being triggered. Some people choose to write and journal, and that's great. But I found for me personally is that I don't want to be focusing on whatever energy it is that has triggered me in the first place. I want to be able to heal it. Right, because I don't need to know and analyze it, because that's very in the mind, that's very in the ego, right? That can be very ego triggering, right? So what I want to do is I want to connect with my higher self. I want to connect with the divine feminine energy, because it's the divine feminine energy that has that compassion, that holds the space of unconditional love, right? That does the healing. So that's what I choose to do, and that's what's proved to me to be really, really effective. In times gone by, I would have maybe wrote something down and done a fire ceremony, right? Wrote it all down, wrote down what I was feeling, and, you know, that's really cathartic to do that, and it's very helpful for some people. And, you know, sometimes I will still do that, but I only tend to do that from a centered space now, right? Where I can connect with my higher self and allow my higher self to bring through whatever it is that I'm releasing, and then bring through whatever it is I'm manifesting. Because really, the whole point of being here is to co-create with the divine. And we are in these wonderful physical vehicles of the human body that is built up of the elements, that has this biofeedback mechanism, right? So literally we are receiving information all day, every day about whether we are in alignment with source or not. We are always co-creating, but are we wanting to be deliberate co-creators, or do we want to be passive co-creators, right? Because we're always co-creating with something. So for me personally, the quicker I can be aware, and the quicker that I can recognize and bring in healing energy and know that healing energy is working, right? Because just by invoking it and bringing it in, that's enough, right? And then if anything else needs to happen, you know, if I need to do any other deeper healing, quantum healing, if I need to do any other type of releasing a work like that, you know, I can do it from a grounded, centered space where I'm connected with source energy, where I'm connected with the Divine Father, the you know, the Divine Mother, the Cosmic Father, and I'm acting as that bridge, right? So my higher self and lower self are merged, and that's the whole point, right? So I'm hoping that this was helpful to the beautiful soul that asked the question. Thank you so much for asking. I hope it's helpful to everyone that sees this video, and you know, if you think it might be helpful for other people as well to see, then please feel very welcome to share it. This is going live in my Facebook group, the Isis Dream Temple, so do feel very welcome to join that space if you're not already in it, because I will post this video up on YouTube as well and on my Facebook page. So I'm sending you all so much love, so many blessings. Happy 7/7 portal, happy expansion, happy heart expansion, happy Sirius gateway, right? Because that Sirius alignment is peaking right now, and all the way through to that 8/8 portal until a few days afterwards as well. So sending you all so much love, and please feel very welcome to reach out if you would like any assistance, any angelic guidance sessions booking. I'm doing recorded bookings right now, or I have a wait list for 2 weeks out for live sessions. Okay, so sending you all so much love. Bye for now.